Hey folks, this is Sam once again, and welcome back to another review. And this is of the 1993 film Nowhere to Run, which I don't have a case, this is the only way I have it. And this is a film that came out the same year as Van Damme's Hard Target, which right there. But this came out, I think, around January, which I don't know why it would come out in January. Now, saying that, it's one of those films where I didn't watch a lot growing up. I didn't watch a lot of this film growing up. But watching it again, I liked it. I thought it was a pretty good film. Nowhere to Run. It was one of Van Damme's films where he's trying to stretch his acting muscles, so it's a little bit more, it's more drama than action. But when little bits of action is there, I thought it worked well. Thought it was a good enough story. When at a good enough pace, it's about a 90-minute movie. Score is pretty decent. Has a good song at the end by Damn Yankees called Silence is Broken. Great bad guys. You have Joss Ackland, who's the bad guy in Lethal Weapon 2, who went, Superman community! Got shot in the head, just been revoked. You also have Ted Levine, who is in Silence of the Lambs. He plays a great bad guy. Wish there was a little bit more of him in the film. But this was directed by Robert Harmon, same guy who directed the original The Hitcher, which I thought was pretty interesting choice to direct a Van Damme movie. He also went on to direct a film called Highwaymen, which I like, with Jim Caviezel. I reviewed both of those films. They're on the channel. But, yeah, I think this was released around January or such of 1993. Because I know Hard Target came out later in the year. And this film, I think, cost around $15 million and made a little over $20 million in U.S., about $30 million foreign, so it made about $50 million worldwide on a $15 million budget. So whether that's a hit or not, I'm sure someone will tell me. But I thought this was still a pretty good film. How some people, I reviewed a film called Desert Heat, which I was not a fan of, but there's quite a few people who are fans of it. And if you're a fan of that film, that's fine. I just disagree. But they were mentioning about how, oh, they liked it because it's a modern day Western. To me, this did a better job of that. Did it before Desert Heat, but I thought it did a much better job than Desert Heat. When the action bits were there, I thought this handled it better. It was a more interesting story. It didn't have as many useless characters, and it had better bad guys. And I like the music better in this film. But Nowhere to Run starts off pretty cool. Van Damme is a prisoner. He's traveling on a prison bus, which you actually see a couple people that you recognize in the prison bus. For example, Sven Ole Thorsen, who's Arnold Schwarzenegger's buddy. You've seen him as the security guy and the running man. This guy scored some steroids. He was in Conan the Barbarian. He was the security mall guard LaFleurs, I believe his name, LaFleurs. And Mallrats, which I know there's a sequel, which I don't look forward to because of Kevin Smith's recent track record. But nice bit of business where a guy who we find out is Van Damme's buddy driving this car swerves right in front of the prison bus and makes the prison bus flip over. Now some nice shots inside where when the bus flips over and people are slamming up to the ceiling, jump up and down. I thought it was handled very well by Robert Harmon. I thought he did a good job with that. And the buddy in the car pretends he's knocked out and pulls a gun on one guard. And I like this bit of business and the dialogue where Van Damme is yelling, "Oh, my leg's broken, my leg's broken." Then the second guard comes in closer. "Oh, my arm's broken, my arm's broken." The guy's, "Well, which is broken, your arm or your leg?" "Your face." It just punches the shit out of the guard. I like that bit of dialogue. Or when some prisoners try to steal the car, Van Damme gets a shotgun and goes, "Steal the car, go to hell." So I like that bit of business. But he beats up a couple of them, and they get away. And then you have this nice shot where one of the guards gets a sniper rifle, just a rifle, sniper rifle, and they shoot. Nice point of view shot where the bullet goes right through the back of the windshield and shoots Van Damme's buddy in the neck. And the guy's apologizing. I know you went to jail for me. Can you forgive me? And Van Damme's like, yeah, I forgive you. And the guy dies of his wounds. And so his story, he doesn't know what to do. He's camping out in the woods in this tent. He needs to get rid of the car, so he puts it into this pond. Then the other story that's going on is Rosanna Arquette has a family. Her husband died years ago, I think of an aneurysm, and she has 2 kids. One of them is Kieran Culkin, I believe is how you say his name, who is the brother of Macaulay Culkin. Who I think the kids did fine. They were not annoying to me. They weren't irritating to me. And pretty much this land development group led by Joss Ackland. She's one of the only houses left standing in their way. They want her to sign this piece of paper. She doesn't want to leave her home. And they try to threaten her. There's this cop, the sheriff, who kind of has the hots for Rosanna Arquette, but he's paid off by the bad guys. And Ted Levine isn't brought in to help go faster on getting this woman and her family off the property, to sign this so they can burn her house down and do this land development deal. And the way they get together is the kid hears some stuff in the house, and that's when Van Damme sneaks a peek at Rosanna Arquette in the shower, which I don't blame him. Steals some salt because he's going to cook something, and the kid thinks it's E.T. Weirdly enough, he thinks it's E.T. One night follows him, finds him in the tent. I actually like this bit of dialogue where he sees that Van Damme was reading a nudie magazine. He's like, "You like boobs?" And Van Damme's like, "Sometimes." And of course, being a little kid, "Oh, boobs are gross." But it's like, "What's your name?" Van Damme's name, his character's name's Sam. And pretty much they become friends. One night, the Rosanna Arquette and her kids are being attacked. They're in their vehicle. These thugs, 3 of these thugs, are trying to get them out, steer them. And Van Damme fucks them up, kicks their ass, beats the shit out of them. Some nice choreography, well done little fight sequences. Takes a guy, slams his head right into the headlight. This guy has this, I don't know what you call it, some type of stick. Venom gets it, just beats the shit out of him with it. Nice little fight sequence. Again, some pretty good choreography, old school stuff. And then pretty much a lot of the film is him getting to know his family, wanting to fix his bike, which was the father's bike. And the kid, of course, you get the idea that he was a fan of his father, misses his father, but he can't remember his father that well. Thinks of Sam, as a guy he wants to look up to. They form a bond. A little bit of romance going on between Van Damme and Rosanna Arquette, which I was fine with. I mean, at least they spent some time with it, so I bought it a little bit more than I've seen in other films, so I buy it. You have some awkward dialogue, like the little girl all of a sudden saying, because she and the kid had, before this, Van Damme was cleaning in the pond, and Van Damme didn't know that the kids were there, and he pulled up, oh shit, went back in the pond. Which brings me up to this really awkward bit of dialogue. This, I think, could have been taken out, where little girl goes, "Oh, he has a big penis." And the mom says, "Oh, you shouldn't talk like that. Besides, he has an average penis." I do like Van Damme's look. Like, when he looks at... That made me chuckle. But it was like... Still, I don't think it was needed, but... Still not as bad as movies like Mikey talked about his boner in that new Ninja Turtles film. I keep bringing it up because this piece of shit movie is one of the worst movies I've seen in recent memory. I'd rather watch this 10 times easily. And you have some more stuff with the bad guys. They put this barn on fire, and Van Damme gets in, gets the horses out. Practical fire. Back in the days where, of course, it'd be practical. Not like be CGI. Nowadays it would. Saves the neighbor out of the fire. The fires don't get to these gas tanks, so Van Damme gets in one of those construction vehicles, pushes the water tower down, saves with so the gas tanks don't blow up. And he did some nice bonding with the family. I thought it worked well. I like Van Damme versus Ted Levine, even with just war words. Even later on, where it's like Van Damme goes, "I'll look forward to it," and Ted Levine says, "You know what? So will I." Just because at one time Ted Levine, "Oh, I think you guys lost a girl," and is being really nice to the kids, being charming. And of course, when talking to Van Damme says, "If you don't even hear her and the kids, I'll kill you." I thought they worked well together. That's why I would like to have seen a couple more scenes with them. I just like seeing those two guys together, but I like Van Damme and Ted Levine. Ted Levine, I liked him as a hero in The Mangler and the TV show Monk. I liked him as a bad guy in this film, Silence of the Lambs. Like Ted Levine, just one of those actors that he was in the Hills of Eyes remake. He's been a lot of good stuff. But you get some other bits of action. They're trying to, I think, fuck up these crops or something that is on Rosanna Arquette's place, like with this liquid, and Van Damme kisses shower with them, takes this big chain, throws into the windshield of one of the construction guys, takes a big piece of wood, smashes it across the guy's face, and goes, "3 strikes, you're out." No, he says, "Strike 3, you're out." I want to get the line right, because I actually wrote that down because I knew I'd fuck her up. "Strike 3, you're out." I like that line of dialogue. And of course, that cop character who's fancy, has a fancy for Rosanna Arquette, who's a bit dirty, handcuffs Van Damme, beats the shit out of his back, tells him to leave, and Rosanna Arquette finds him, heals him up, has sex. Rosanna Arquette, beautiful woman, not too bad of an actress as well. And was it Rosanna Arquette? One keeps, I think it was. I don't know why. Now I'm doubting myself. I was pretty sure, but for some reason now I'm doubting myself because I fucked up before. But I mean, this is not a big action-packed movies, which is maybe why a lot of people are not fans of the film, which I can understand to a point. But it didn't really bother me that much. It really didn't. I thought it went at a good enough pace that when the action bits happened, it was nice to see. But I wasn't that bored with it. Maybe because I thought the actors did their jobs well. I liked the villains. I thought Van Damme was decent as well. When the bits of action happened, they were satisfying. Like when he has to leave because of circumstances, the cops are after him. I like the shot that you see in the trailer where he realizes people are around him, puts his glasses on, and then jumps. And I like the usage of slow-mo right onto the motorcycle. Really good motorcycle chase where cops are coming out of the woodwork, shooting at him. Nice stunt where cops are falling over cars and going through the woods and going through the desert. Some nice bit of stunt work and good chase sequence. A pretty solid chase sequence. I liked it. And he realizes what he needs to do. He thinks the bad guys are going to be there, and of course he's right. Bad guys get with Rosanna Arquette, threaten her, make her sign, and Van Damme is there to kick some ass. Some really good stuff. I mean, they start the house on fire. Van Damme punches through the window, grabs a guy, pulls him out, and the guy's on fire, and he punches the guy for good measure. He has a really good fight with Ted Levine, I must admit. I thought the fight was pretty good. I mean, you think, well, Ted Levine, he's not in martial arts, but it's more of a brawl, but you get some nice stuff in there. You get some really good stuff during that fight. Nice back and forth, evenly matched, some nice punches in there. They go through different locations, pushing Van Damme into the sink that I think it was the scene that breaks off. Ted Levine trying to stab him with a pitchfork. Some nice choreography, some nice fight. I mean, it's not going to be a martial art fight a la Bloodsport, but it's a nice brawl type of fight. I thought it was well edited. I understood what was going on. Ted Levine trying to hit Van Damme with this, I forget what it was, and Van Damme getting out of the way and smashing into a window. Oh, I liked the scene before. Really nice shot where Ted Levine has a shotgun. They're struggling, and the camera is outside of the wall, and then the shotgun hole appears, and the camera goes through the wall into where Van Damme and Ted Levine are struggling with it. Some nice shots like that remind me of something Richard Franklin would do, and I remember a shot kind of like that in Link. If you watch the trailer where shotgun hole camera pushes into the lead actor. I like those kind of shots. It makes the scene more interesting, but it's a pretty good fight, pretty entertaining fight. Ted Levine hurts the little kid, Kieran Culkin. Van Damme gets pissed, just punches Shadow. Bah, 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 bah. Tries to spear Van Damme. Van Damme flips him over right into the damn windshield of the car. He walks away. Ted Levine's still alive. Really nicely shot where Van Damme gets out of the way. Kieran Culkin throws the gun. Has a handgun, 6-shooter. Van Damme grabs it. Jumps in slow-mo. Boom, boom. Nice practical blood squibs on Ted Levine. And Ted Levine had said a line of dialogue. I always get this wrong. Au revoir. I know I said that wrong. Not sure how to pronounce it correctly. Au revoir. The way Van Damme says it is badass. Au revoir. See, I can't even say it. Au revoir, fucker. If I knew how to say it, or if I could put clips in, it'd be much better. But I just like the au revoir, fucker. Yeah, and I know I said that wrong, but I don't know how to pronounce that. Au revoir, fucker. Doesn't sound right coming from my mouth. But I thought it was a really satisfying flick. Joss Ackland has Rosanna Arquette. The other cops come in, they arrest him. Van Damme realizes he's got to give himself up. And people may say sentimental, but I thought it worked well for the story. HUD's Rosanna Arquette says he'll come back one day. HUD's little kid. Van Damme says goodbye, my friend. Thought that was actually pretty cool, pretty sweet way of doing it without puke-inducing sentimentality. I thought it worked well. I always remember the last shot where Van Damme, with handcuffs on, says bye. And I thought the score was pretty decent. And what's funny is I remember before I saw this film again, my friend Mike, OCP, showed me a link to the song from this film. Because I mentioned I was going to see this film. He goes, do you remember the song? I go, no. He's like, you don't? I'm like, no, I guess I know it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but how come I don't remember this song? And I realized I haven't really watched this DVD since I had gotten it. I was waiting for a Van Damme marathon. It was not a film I grew up watching a lot. But when I did watch it, it was taped. And it was taped, it only showed a little bit of the end credits. And a little bit of the end credits is the musical score, and then it kicks into that song. And of course, back in the day when you taped movies on the VHS tape, you don't want to tape the end credits. That's, crucial running time that you could put into using for other movies. So no, don't do that. So I had only seen the little bit of the end credits with the musical score, not with the song. And that's the song Damn Yankees, Silence is Broken. Which I've become pretty addicted to that song recently. I really enjoy that song. The silence is broken now. It's over now. The words have been spoken. The silence is broken now. Just really been addicted to that song, so I really enjoy that song. Really like it. Great song. For a very solid movie. I don't really have much problems with it. Yeah, could always use a little bit more action. And I would like to have seen a little bit more Ted Levine. And once in a while, I get an awkward bit of dialogue, like the penis talk. But other than that, I thought it was well paced, good. Like this, I could say is more of modern day western that works, not desert heat, in my opinion. When the action works, it works well. Robert Harmon is a capable director. When when you watch The Hitcher and Highwaymen, two films I enjoy, which I reviewed, they're on this channel. Talk about the original The Hitcher, which is a classic. That's still my favorite Robert Harmon film, but this is still a good one. Solid cast. Ted Levine was great to watch. Joss Ackland did well. Score fit the film well, wasn't out of place, wasn't overbearing. And overall, I really enjoyed Nowhere to Run. So, solid flick. It was nice to watch again, because it had been a long time since I had seen it. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on Nowhere to Run, which is another film that has nothing on DVD, which makes it's a normal thing for Van Damme films. But either way, thanks for watching, take care, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.